Today, digital disruption in the rental management market. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Welcome to our latest post covering finance and property news with a distinctively Australian flavour. And I'm joined tonight by Marlene. Hello, Marlene.
Hi, Martin. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Very good. And you sent me a message the other day saying we are getting a load of people inquiring via your platform, which we'll talk about in a second, inquiring about self-managing their rental.
Yes, that's right.
So that's really interesting. So I'd like to know a little bit more about your platform and, you know, how long it's been around and all those things. So tell us the story.
Okay, thank you. So Real Renter is a disruptor. We are a disruptor in the real estate market now. It's a do-it-yourself property management software platform. It does everything property managers do, but at less than a quarter of what they charge. The only thing it doesn't do is go out and actually do the inspections itself. But hey, with the developments in AI, who knows?
Send the robot out and get them to just walk around the platform, right? Walk around the property, right? But
anything is possible.
Right. So basically, the concept is the platform allows somebody who's got a rental to be able to effectively manage all the processes of ongoing rental management on the platform. That's the key. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's cloud-based, which means people just need an internet connection and it can run off their phone or tablet or laptop, and they get their tenants to pay the rent via BPay or direct debit. And the software tracks the rent, automatically generates and populates the rental ledgers, automatically generates all the invoices and receipts and the reconciliation. When tenants are late paying, the software immediately sends them a text and an email reminder to pay. And at the same time, it will text and email the landlord at the same time so they know what's going on. And then it will do the same process again in 7 days with a breach notice. Landlords can also do manual entry into a service ledger for other payments that are not rent, like, you know, if they charge for utilities or gardening or something like that. And the platform dates and timestamps all the interactions between the landlord and the tenant, and it creates a file for each tenancy. And tenants can request maintenance via the platform. They can upload videos, photos and documents and forms, and so can the landlord. So it's extremely comprehensive. We've been around for about 3 years now. Our directors we're completely Australian owned. Our directors are 2 Australian successful property investors with large portfolios who were burned by property managers in the past and didn't see the value for the thousands of dollars they were paying in property management fees. And they created this platform and they thought, well, you know what, we're going to disrupt the industry, and we've been disrupting it. So, yeah, and I've been an avid follower of yours now for about a year, and our landlords love the updates, because I generally once a week or twice a week I will post your updates on our social media, and our landlords really love them. They engagement really spikes when we put DFA on, and
it's the DFA magic.
The feedback has been about you is that you're making people aware about the difference between speculation and actual investment. That's what the trick. I think that's what it is, and and everything you say is making sense, and we're seeing it crystallise every day. So,
okay, well that's good. Well, you know, we're trying now. So give me a rough indication how many properties are actually currently being managed through the platform then?
There's a few hundred.
Okay.
It's growing.
Is that across the whole of the country, or do you have a particular?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
whole country.
And if I think about the rental process, what about the lease documentation and all that sort of? Is that included on the platform, or is it for?
Yes.
So you do the lease as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Landlords can access all the relevant forms and documents on the platform. We list them all by state and territory.
Right.
Everything is there. Anything that's not there, we will acquire for the landlord. But generally, our landlords are quite savvy investors. They're either they've had experience self-managing before they used us, or they just know what to do. So. It's easy. It facilitates what they want to achieve, you know.
And do you do the charging mechanism is on a percentage basis, presumably, but a lot lower, or how do you charge?
It's just a flat fee.
Okay.
Per month.
Okay. And is that standard across all of the properties, or does it vary by rental size, or how does it work?
No, it's just per property per month.
Okay.
There are no contracts, no minimum engagement period or anything like that. You can join whenever you want and cancel whenever you want. We have a 2-month free trial, or up to 2-month free trial to begin with. And then it's no obligation, so landlords can choose to keep using us or not. What we've noticed, so just to give you some stats, our engagement has risen by 30%. Our incoming inquiries has risen by 30% from this time last year.
Wow.
In particular, like ever since the Liberal leadership spill, that's where we've really seen that week. I was working 15 hours a day. I can't tell you what it did. We just had we had a flood of inquiries because people were anticipating an incoming other government, that will limit negative gearing. Yeah.
And certainly what I'm seeing from my surveys is a lot of property investors are really under the gun in terms of cash flow terms. So presumably if they're able to get the same sort of services and facilities at a better price point, and it sounds as though it's also much more convenient being it online and everything, then it makes a lot of sense. And I think, as Edwin Almeida said the other day, that the industry is absolutely ripe for disruption, given the what's going on and given the relatively high costs of property management. And it's very interesting. So your plans are to continue to grow in Australia?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we're getting busier and busier. And as you said, it's the anticipation of the loss of negative gearing and the capital gains tax changes, and it's harder to get credit and the market is cooling. So people are trying to claw back their expenses or increase their revenue. And what I've noticed anecdotally from speaking to investors, because I speak to dozens of them every week, is that they are increasingly seeing property management costs as a discretionary spend when it comes to managing their portfolio. And also what's changed is the kinds of inquiries that we're getting. So perhaps a year or 2 years ago, predominantly we were getting inquiries from mum and dad investors with 1, 2, maybe 3 properties. But the last few months has seen an influx of inquiries from people with 10, 20, 30. I've even had conversations with people with 50. I know, it blew me away. Also, Edwin was spot on the other day when he said that a lot of agencies are going to start feeling the pinch here, and they're going to want to dispense with their expensive property management cost centres. And he was right, because lately that's the sorts of inquiries we're getting as well. We're actually speaking to agents who are looking at a software platform like ours to dispense with property management departments. That is, look, it's good for us. This, a business like ours that saves people money will always thrive in a downturn. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, what does it mean long term for the actual market? I mean, It's scary.
Yeah, well, I think we are at a time of significant uncertainty and disruption, right? So we know that many property investors are struggling to make the economics of the rental work. And in fact, the surveys say more are considering perhaps looking to exit, or at least find a way of saving costs. So that aligns very much with what you're saying. And as Edwin said, you know, the industry has been a bit lax and lazy for many years, but suddenly that's all changing. So we are in a time of significant disruption. So it's really interesting to hear about the platform. And what we'll do is we'll put a link in the comments below so that people can actually sort of go and have a look and you know, look for themselves, because I think it's a really interesting example of the sort of digital disruption that digital finance analytics likes to talk about. So I appreciate your time, and maybe I can check back in a few months and see how the business is progressing, because I think it will be an interesting time to see how this evolves as we go into next year and as the market continues to evolve and change.
Oh yes, we've got some big changes coming up, Martin.
Okay, well, we'll book another call in a few months' time, and I really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. Pleasure.
So there you go, another example of digital disruption, this time in the rental sector. I think it's a very significant development, and it's something we're going to see a lot more of going forward. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.